So what is up, everybody? Yesterday was Ash Wednesday, and when I picked up PJ from school, he got in my car, he buckled up, and he looked at me. You know what he said? He said, "Dad, why do we mark our foreheads with ashes? What does that really mean?" You know, he's 6. He goes to a classical Christian school. He's thinking, not just repeating things, right? He wants to understand. And I realized right there in that moment, he wasn't just questioning me to rush through it. He really wanted to know. So instead of giving him just a quick answer, a quick response on the drive home, I changed the direction. You know what we did? We started talking about this, what Jesus actually did, what this actually meant. We loaded up some chopped firewood. We headed out to the farm. We went out to this desolate place. No lights, no noise, just open land. It was a little bit windy last night. There was some snow on the ground, the big sky with stars. We built a bonfire out there. We didn't fully camp. It was more like glamping, I guess you could say, under the stars. But you know what? We were out there. The fire was crackling, the darkness, silence that makes you slow down, whether you want to or not. And I told him this: Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent. And Lent is a season of preparation. All right. In Genesis 3, verse 19, it says, "For you are dust, and to dust you shall return." That's not meant to scare us. It's meant to humble us, to remind us that life is temporary. We're not here forever. Pride fades. Our bodies are fragile. These are the temples that God gave us. What actually matters is who we become and who we are following. Then we talked about Jesus in Luke 4, 40 days in the wilderness before he stepped into public ministry. No food, no comfort, no applause, no preaching, just testing. He was praying. He was preparing. The wilderness wasn't punishment for Jesus. It was his training. And here's what I explained to PJ, and what I want you to understand too. When you intentionally remove something that your brain craves, comfort, sugar, scrolling on your phone, validation from other people, distractions, our dopamine system, it recalibrates. Research in neuroscience actually shows us that consistent stimulation lowers dopamine, the receptors, and the sensitivity to the receptor. You need more and more to feel the exact same reward. Does that make sense? Just like addiction. But when you fast from that thing that you need more and more of, when you step back from that intentionally, what our brain does is it begins restoring that balance. The reward system starts to reset. Small things become meaningful again. Discipline becomes possible again. That's neuroplasticity right there. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of" what? Our minds. Renewing isn't just some poetic language. It's structural change to our minds. Repeated intentional behavior strengthens our brain, the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that's responsible for self-control, for focus, for long-term vision. Every time that we resist impulse, every time that we choose prayer over that distraction, that temptation, we are strengthening the leadership inside of us and our mind. Lent is brain training. Lent is spiritual strengthening. Lent is actual identity refinement. So sitting there last night under the stars, I told him, this is a season where we decide what leads us. So now I'm going to ask you, everybody watching this, you right now, what are you doing this season? Not what are you talking about doing? Not what sounds spiritual. What are you actually doing? What are you giving up, or are you giving anything up that has had maybe a bad influence on you? Is there something in your life that has had a stronghold on you? Okay, are you adding something into your life that builds you? You don't have to give something up necessarily. Are you structuring your prayer life better? Are you disciplining your body better? Are you cleaning up your schedule? However you do it, are you doing it? Or do you have any structure? Or are you just hoping somehow, some way that willpower is going to show up? Because here is what we're doing. We're going to be stepping back into training season, baby. I'm giving up the temptations and the strongholds in my life that have lingered around completely, not halfway, not half-ass, not casually. I'm sharpening myself physically, mentally, spiritually. And do you want to know why I'm doing this? Because preparedness matters. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and self-control." You hear that? We have that spirit of self-control. Okay. That's not just personality. That's training. Hebrews 12 verse 11 says, "Discipline produces a harvest for those who have been trained by it." Trained. If my 6-year-old can ask real questions and we can sit under the stars and we can talk about life, death, humility, purpose, then you can choose something intentional for the next 40 days. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It just has to be deliberate. This is our season for preparation. If we can do it, if PJ and I can do it, you can do it too. So again, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do for Lent? And how are you going to follow through? You have got this. Let's end in prayer. Father, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this season. Thank you for this Lenten season. We know that you will not leave us. We know that this is preparedness season. We know that if we do this right, if we are intentional, we can step into a different level of life that you've put us on earth to live, that we have inside of us that we just need to step into. Lord, help us to do that. Give us the strength. And thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, we always pray. And we said amen. Have a wonderful day. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, check out jjshalver.com. And please send a comment, send a chat. I would love to visit with you. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.